Now, because it is actually raining outside, this next segment is going to be coming to you from my car. So, we're going to be discussing a little bit about what happened in the 1830s with the 5 civilized tribes. Now, what those were the tribes that occupied the American South at that time, and they were the Cherokees, the Choctaws, the Creeks, the Chickasaws, and the Seminoles. And they were called civilized. That's exactly what they were. They pretty much assimilated into American life. They had done farming. They pretty much had completely assimilated into the American way of life. However, it was decided as American expansionism moved west that the expanding white population wanted those lands, and they were to try to get them off their territory. So the 5 civilized tribes, as they were called, actually went to the Supreme Court, and they appealed their case, and they won. The only thing was, it was left in the hands of the President of the United States to enforce that rule, and that president was Andrew Jackson. Andrew Jackson was well known as an Indian fighter. He was well known for was one of the slaughters among the Creek tribe, and he was quoted of saying, "I only knew of one good Indian, and he was dead." However, on the other side of the argument, he also adopted a Cherokee child and raised him as his own. So, different sides of different parts of Old Hickory. So, needless to say, there's a great deal of animosity toward Andrew Jackson, to where it even exists today, to where many natives, many of my kin, still refuse to use $20 bills because it has his likeness on them. So it was left to President Jackson to enforce the Supreme Court ruling and to defend the natives from the state legislatures of the South. He did nothing. And the 5 civilized tribes were forcibly removed off of their land and moved to what was going to be deemed to be called Indian Territory, which is currently the state of Oklahoma. So after much trial and much travail, they made their way at that great loss on the Trail of Tears, to the Oklahoma Territory. And that's where they resided ever since, and that was Indian Territory. So that will build into our next segment. More to come.